Yeah. Hi there. We're here. We're doing this. Finally recording a video after months, if not years of procrastinating. But yeah, we're doing this. And today we'll be talking about the 3 cheapest EVs that you can get in South Africa as of January 2022. That was a good intro. I need to stop shaking my hands. Let's get started. Now, to give this video a wholesome context, we aren't going to be focusing too deep on the details of the specific cars we're going to be talking about. So we're just going to be talking about the most basic of things, especially those that are important as far as EVs are concerned, which is going to be the battery pack, the motor, the range, and the price. We're also going to try and look at finance options, perhaps as an alternative way at looking at these EVs, because the prices that they're sitting in right now, yeah. And then thirdly, I would like to just try and find an argument of why these prices seem to be okay to pay. There's never peace in this place. I'll also try and find an argument as far as these prices are concerned as of to why it would be okay to pay for it, and maybe compare it to an ICE equivalent car and see if the argument actually holds. So let's get started. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, because anyone else outside of the motoring industry, all they know is that an electric car uses electricity. But to just give a basic definition, an electric car uses an electric motor instead of a traditional engine to essentially drive. Now, it uses, instead of fuel, electricity. And instead of a petrol tank, it has a pack of batteries to hold that electricity. So the size of the batteries are calculated in kilowatt hours. Not gonna go into too much detail about the science, it doesn't matter. But for context of this video, the important bits you just need to know is the size of the battery, the motor of the car, the range, and how much it's gonna cost. That's it. So to get started, the first one is the Alexa Citybug. Now, the Alexa, South Africans are in a very awkward place as far as the Alexa is concerned, for quite a few reasons. It looks like a lot of people don't like it, and I get why, but I also think a lot of people seem to misunderstand what the Alexa has been made for exactly. Also, I'm going to dive deeper into the Alexa and talk about it in detail in the next video. But for this one, we're just going to focusing on bare minimum information, which is a 9 kilowatt hour battery pack. It has a 4 kilowatt motor. It has a range of 100 kilometers on full charge, and it has a starting price of 230,000. Yo, okay, that's palatable to some extent, but we move. The second one is the Mini Cooper SE. Now, the Mini, since it was first released in SA, it has gotten an update since, and yeah, the update, no. But as far as the Mini is concerned, it has a 32.6 kilowatt hour battery pack. It has a 136 kilowatt motor. The range, it was 230, and then it was reported to be 220. Every now and again, motoring journalists quote 217, but let's just round it off to 220 kilometers. And then the Mini has a starting price. Another controversial issue. It went from 658, it's now 681. We move. And then the third one is the BMW i3. Now, the i3 has been the longest, most consistent EV that has been on sale in South Africa. So, to some extent, in my opinion, I kind of expected it to have this EV thing on lock as far as either the range, quality of car you get for the money, because we can't exactly expect it to be cheap. It is a BMW after all. But the i3, it has, I think it's a 42.2 kilowatt hour battery pack. It has a 125 kilowatt motor. It has a range of about 200 kilometers, and it has a starting price of 754,200. 200. Couldn't just like at least drop the 200? Surely it makes a bit more okay, that's expensive. That's expensive. That's I'm an EV enthusiast, but that's expensive, you know. And to try and just get these prices to seem a bit more palatable, I did a bit of research to hopefully, I don't know, man, make them look a bit less scary. So I did a bit of calculations as far as financing is concerned, and these are the figures I got. Also, these figures were calculated on a 12% interest paid over a 72-month period. So please note that if they're paid for in a shorter term, the monthly installments will be higher, or you'll be paying less interest. Yeah, let's go. The Alexa, you're easily looking at about 4,600. The Mini, the Mini, it's like, I don't want to say it. The Mini, you're looking at about 10,000 ish, yeah. And the i3, the i3, you're looking at about 11.5 minimum. And all of these figures, they're theoretical minimum figures. So depending on your credit score, depending on the deal you get with your financing, depending on quite a few things, you may get a cheaper quote. So please note. But yeah, 10,000. Yo. Ho ho ho. Saze safa. Oh, now that's expensive. That's pricey. That's phew. I calculated these like 4 times just to make sure, and every time I say it, it doesn't get better. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Whew. Sorry about that. Yeah, but yeah, that's expensive. But there's an argument to be made to some reasonable extent, and that argument is running costs. Now, the Mini and the BMW are premium brands, so please note that the word cheap in this context is for technical reasons. If you're looking at it from a running costs perspective, an EV costs very cheap to run. In fact, you're easily looking at less than about $500 a month to run an EV. Whereas with an IC equivalent, yes, you do get a bit more car for your money. However, there's fuel to consider. So to give an example, using the Mini as the EV one and an IC equivalent, let's pick a Golf 7 GTI, because why not? Now, if you're averaging, I'm using the Golf 7 because it is quite a lot of car for the money. I mean, clearly. But using the Mini and the Golf 7 GTI as an example, if you're gonna average about 7 liters per 100 kilometer, which is, I don't want to say it's the standard average, but come on, it's an average for a lot of cars. One I would say is the majority even, unless you're driving the new Corolla Cross Hybrid. But if you're averaging 7 liters per 100 kilometers, you're usually looking at about $140 per 100 kilometers, because we're paying about $20 per liter of fuel right now. And $140 per 100 kilometers is not a lot. That's not a long distance to travel in, especially in a car that's as comfortable as a Golf 7 GTI. Now, I do admit I can use better examples, but for the money, that's the most important thing. For the money, that's not a long distance to travel in. That's a very short distance, and mind you, you're not gonna go into a fill-up station and go. It's a 140 bafo. Let's just be honest. So you're easily gonna average about $2,000 on average, with a lot going even higher. I've heard some guys paying about 2.5, and not just for Golf 7 GTIs, but for just their cars generally. So if you're gonna be paying easily about maybe 13 ish thousand rand for a car per month, an ICE equivalent, yeah, you're looking at about 15, easily to about 16 and a half, just because of the fuel spend. Hello, whereas with an EV, you're just paying that 13k square, because you can get the wall box and then you can charge your car at home. If you're even trying to save a bit of money, you can just charge it using a 3-pin socket and an extension cord, although that does increase charging time drastically. But again, if you're trying to cut a bit of costs, you can just go that way. So that way you just get free range. You get it home, you plug your car in, you charge it overnight, you wake up in the morning, you've got a full battery. Away you move. You go into a shopping center, there's a charger there, they're usually fast chargers even. You pop it in, you go for a shopping, about 40 minutes to about an hour, you've easily got about 200 kilometers. Pop it in into your office, you pop it into a dealership, you get where I'm going with this. Whereas with an EV, yeah, you do get more street cred, you probably will get the girls in the club, that is true, let's not ignore that fact. However, you are going to be looking at a very hefty fuel bill. And the worst thing I have noticed is that with our current government, our fuel prices are not stable. They are increasing at a very rapid rate in close proximities of each other. So yes, you're paying 20 bucks for fuel right now, but how much will you be paying by November this year? Which is also something else to consider. Now, to end, EVs are expensive. Hey, let's not the arguments and the justifications and the comparisons just take away from that point. EVs are expensive, especially in South Africa right now. The good ones, they're easily above a 1.5 million going north, and those are the only ones you can even just travel with into provincially. If you have to get an EV, if you would like it, I would suggest it as a second car. If you absolutely have to get one, best if you're traveling locally. It's best if you're buying it for someone who commutes strictly just locally. Otherwise, especially as a first car, yeah, no. Right now, as things stand, you're better off getting a cheaper ICE hatchback that is very fuel economical. And you're looking at about your Toyota Starlets, your VW Polos, you're looking at your Hyundai i20s, just around that bunch, and if you would like to go premium, perhaps consider an Audi A1, perhaps consider second-hand BMW 1 Series, definitely not the 135, fuel economy is your thing. But yeah, right now, South Africans want EVs, but yeah, not at how much they cost, hey? Like, the planet is dying and we care, but not enough to be paying about 14,000 bucks a month to save it. Like, no. But it should be an interesting case to watch going forward, and yeah, it should be a good couple of years, because the technology is rapidly decreasing. I don't think South African EV manufacturers are getting that memo for some weird reason, because the cars just seem to be getting a bit more pricey. But yeah, we should be it should be an interesting space to watch. Please do comment below what EVs you think is best for the money right now, in this current state, whether it's something that you would buy or suggest to someone else. I am keen on listening to what you've got to say, and the next video, it's going to be about the Lexus City Bug in a bit more detail. Hopefully a lot of people will understand what that car is made for. But besides that, it's been a good one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. Been trying to record this video for this entire week. Let's try this again. Take 11. Jesus. Holy mother of Jesus. There may be a few chicken sounds in this video. I do apologize. I have a neighbor with a newly found love of chicken farming and whatever, and that too. It's like they just wait for you to record. It's like you set up, you do your lighting, make sure everything is perfect, check the sun reflections, you just do everything. Everything. The minute you hit the record button, everyone suddenly has something to do. Everywhere.